You know, I get to see Katie's interaction with Stefanie, and having the ability to do something to help her and others like her is the primary reason. You know, I see how much time Katie devotes to her. Like, she's a part of her life. So to be able to do something to help people like her and in her situation's awesome.
Dennis and I were dating. I found out that he had alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, which I was like, what is that? It's a really long word. And so I went to some doctor's appointments with him to learn more about it. Dennis having that disease, they always monitor his lung function and his liver. And I remember one of the doctors making a simple remark one time, just saying, well, you're healthy and you're doing great, but you're never gonna run a marathon in your 40s. And he looked at me and he looked at him and was like, really? Because that meant we definitely wanted to. And I think as the years went on and we had kids, and we always put exercise as a priority because of his diagnosis. But then when I was at that dinner and after meeting Steph and knowing that there was a foundation out there that we could support, we knew this was the right timing. And it'll be a challenge for both of us. I was a sprinter in college, so this is very long for me. And Dennis played baseball and only ran when he had to. So it's gonna be a great experience. And I think he's excited to train his body like that and see what it can do.
So it's kind of like this full circle situation, and this just provided the amazing opportunity to do something for someone else that just is a wonder to get to do.
On this side, she has an above knee amputation. So this prosthetic is called a C-leg, and she has a suction socket underneath that holds it on and allows it to have full knee flexion. So prior to this, she did have her knee, so you can sit up, but she could only bend it about 30 degrees. And so she tried several things, and we tried several prosthetics to see if we could keep that knee to hinge enough for her to get up from sit to stand, but we just couldn't do it. We needed one leg to be able to bend more than that. On this side, she has something called a pin lock. So the liner has a pin in it that links into the prosthetic. And so she pushes this button to take it on and off. And this, she's a below the knee on this side. And yeah, so we're trying to see if she's gonna have enough knee flexion on this side to be able to sit to stand and do all those things, stairs and things where you would need to bend your knee more. So a lot of it is slow. I think that's the hardest part. Even as a PT, I tend to be impatient. So wanting them to have the next step or the next thing. And if you think about your closet, you wouldn't ever wear the same pair of shoes every day. And I think that's where we're at, where we're like, well, this is good for this, but it's not good for that. Yeah. And how can you make somebody the most mobile is for them to have options. And that isn't something that I think insurance companies see on paper. And so that's something that really motivated me to want to do this, is I want her to be able to go to her closet and say, I'm going for a hike today and I need this leg. Or I'm going to do this and this is the most comfortable, so that I can go to a wedding and have a good time and feel comfortable.
The perspective that she kind of presents to life. You know, we all have these, you know, moments that happen to us where for glimpses of time we kind of have this perspective on life where we appreciate everything, and we, you know, it brings us closer together. And she lives that every day.
The thing is that it wasn't just me that was hurt. You know, my sister has severe PTSD, and my stepfather had a head injury, and my mom broke both of her legs, and we've all been struggling, and mine were more severe, but they also had things that changed their life too. And I'm such a complex case that there's, you know, even the good days, there's things that I need help with. So it changes your whole family's life and your friend's life and sort of everybody that you know.
I've seen good days, I've seen not so good days from her and her family, and I think the amazing thing is how supportive she can be for the rest of her family when they're not having a good day, knowing that maybe their injuries aren't as visible, but that she's there and she is that strong to not only go through this herself and heal, but to actually help her family heal has been amazing.
There's no way I would have thought that I would have handled it the way that I have seen myself handle it. I mean, it's even taken my family by surprise. You know, if I had known all these injuries and all these surgeries and everything that was going to happen to me, I would have pictured myself underneath the covers in my room, just hiding, you know, like I definitely don't think I thought I would ever handle it like this. So, you know, when people say I'm an inspiration, it's amazing to hear, but it's also surprising because I didn't know I had this in me until I had no other choice. Once I was out of kidney failure, I was officially medically stable to go to a rehabilitation center. And I felt like I had worked so hard to even just get to this center. And I heard of this doctor there, and I was still convinced in my mind that I was going to go there for a few weeks and I was going to walk out that door and it was going to be all over and everything was going to be easy again. So I met him, and he, after a very quick evaluation, told me that he had never seen someone with all of the injuries that I had. He had never seen someone with both a spinal cord injury and bilateral leg amputations. And then he asked me what I knew about prosthetics, and I said, well, I think I'm gonna get them and then I'm gonna walk. And he gave me a couple options, and one of my options was to get cosmetic legs and stay in a wheelchair. And I said, I am not doing that. You know, he sort of gave me the very harsh reality that nobody knew if I was going to be able to walk again. Cried myself to sleep. And then I just decided that I was going to walk, and if he had never seen it before, that I was going to be the first person that he saw do it.
We were scared by the commitment of $17,000 at first. But the reality is we're hoping it's much more. And to understand that she's one person, this happens to all these people, and to not be able to get what they need to recover is just heartbreaking. So I'm hoping we can raise more than that.